So, like, what exactly is the story that's being told here? Why is, what's her name, Daisy Duck or whatever, afraid of Goofy and this dwarf holding hands and running towards the big bad wolf who is also scared? I don't know if Disney sanctioned this or not.
In this episode, I don't fall off a ski lift, I make a local friend, and get stoked for a birthday present. There's something real funny about this bear, how surprised he looks. The fish is coming right up at him, but oh man, is he opening the birthday present.
The evening in the tent was really chill. I actually slept super well. The one thing I did notice when I woke up is when you're in a different place, I mean this is obvious, but there's different critters. There's some slugs climbing around all over the outside of the tent, and they're all on the actual tent. And that's fine. I think I only found one tick last night inside the tent that I evicted before it decided to chew on me. I think it was a tick, I don't know, I'm not a bugologist. But everything else is like totally chill. It was a great night. And I've got me some breakfast here from the convenience store that I picked up last night. Got some bean bread. I don't know, I'm really into the sweet bean bread lately. And the breading is gonna be a little bit dry. But, I mean the beans, it's like good. It's like really sweet. I've learned that I am in Daisetsuzan, and that means the big snow mountain. And it's the middle of the summer, so I don't think we're going to be seeing any snow, but that might tell you what the climate is like in this area during the winter. And I don't really know what I'm going to do. I was going to go to a peak that you can take like a car thing up to the top and stuff, and then I realized it's an hour and 45-minute drive just to get there. So I think what I'm going to do, this park is large. I think what I'm going to do is just kind of drive around randomly. The weather is supposed to be beautiful today, and I'm not sure so much about the future days of the weather. I think it's possible I will end up leaving tomorrow before the weather gets bad here, but I don't know where I'll go. So anyway, it's all just like, right now the ground is still quite wet from the rain that we got last night, and my shoes are still drenched. So I've got them sitting in some sun, trying to use the sun to dry them, but I'm a little concerned because wet shoes don't usually pan out to be good shoes. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. For today, I've got some of these guys on, and I don't want to have to drive with them, but what am I gonna do when my other shoes are super wet? And these people are gonna freak out, like, oh my god, flip-flops on a motorcycle. These actually like strap onto your foot really tight, so while it's not like the greatest thing to ride a motorbike in, it's also not like I'm wearing flip-flops. Like, it's not that ridiculous, which I had done. So I don't know, today is just a random adventure. Let's get another in the daylight look at the rocks that girl drove over last night. Guys, this is like a really big rock, and she just plowed over them. The way that she got out of the car too, I don't know how to explain it. It was just weird. Like, she just got out and she was just like, where am I? Like, she just came like from this, like, there's a road right here. There's like the road is here. I don't understand how she even got over there. It was so strange. It's like one of the most surreal moments I've had in a long time. It's like, is this happening? It's like, is your car okay? She didn't even like realize she hit the rocks. Quick update about something I saw yesterday. I saw that rice field art, and it had Matsuko Deluxe on the rice paddy, and I was like, this is kind of random but wonderful. Turns out it's not random, because Matsuko Deluxe is a PR campaign spokesperson for Hokkaido rice. So it makes perfect sense. It's just, I don't ever watch TV, so I don't know those things, but I posted pictures of what I had seen on Instagram, and one of our Japanese followers was like, oh yeah, like, Matsuko Deluxe is the PR campaign person for Hokkaido. And I was like, oh, well, it's not quite as random now, but I still enjoyed the moment where I thought it was random. A little worried about getting out of the soggy field with Scooty. We know, thanks to the trip that Katie and I did, Scooty can do a bit of mud. even if it's terrifying. There's like a million dragonflies in this field, by the way. It's really cool. The campsite itself has been pretty nice, actually. It's kind of like a glamping mixture, I guess, where there are camping, like what I'm doing, but I'm the only one doing it. And then these little log cabins. And then there are metal tubes that you can stay in. That's going on as well. And they have trash and showers and a little kitchen area. And it's costing 1,300 yen per night, so that's not too bad considering you get some decent facilities, and the toilets and stuff are like super clean. So no complaints. I'm going to stay here at least one more night. I've confirmed that by paying them, and from there I don't know what I'll do. We'll just keep an eye on the weather, and if it comes down to just like a day of rain or something, I might just stay here and just deal with it. I could sit inside of the kitchen and work on things on my computer, and I'm way behind on stuff, so that would be good. But for now, we're just going to go explore this national park, the Big Snow Mountain National Park.
Found this car wash. And that would be kind of handy if I needed to take a shower, but Mr. Top already thought of that. The first stop today is just near that Seiko Mart that I went last night, so not very far, like 10-minute drive from where I'm camping. And there's a ropeway that goes up a mountain, and apparently when the skies are clear, the view is nice, and the skies are mostly clear. So I'm gonna take this ropeway up, and the thing that's going on here mostly, it seems like, is hiking. So a lot of people are taking this ropeway and then a chairlift up to the top of this mountain and then going off on multiple hiking trails. And this is not something that I have the gear for, it's not something I have the time for, and it's just not something that, to be honest, I'm not a huge hiker. I'll do it sometimes, but there's gotta be a real special reason, and I've gotta be ready for it, and none of those are lining up. But I'm gonna take the ropeway and then a chairlift up to the 7th station and see what I can see from up there. And it was kind of expensive. It's like 3,300 yen round trip. I asked her how long it would take me to walk down from the 7th station where I'd be getting off, because I could do a one-way ticket for half the price. But she was like, probably about 3.5 hours. So I think I will just do the round trip, and then we'll keep moving and check out some more things along this area on Scooty, because it's the point of the whole trip, right, Scooty? It's just got to just showing Scooty around. I'm coming to the visitor center that they've got here. It's actually really nice. It's one of those things where it shows trails and maps and things, and then examples of the wildlife. My favorite wildlife example is this guy, the Naki Usagi. The homeboy is adorable. Seriously, look at how adorable this thing is. We gotta find one. Okay, the Naki Usagi was pretty adorable, but we've also got this deer, which is fine. But then we've got this deer, which is also fine. But then we have a wiener dog. I'm hoping to see a wild wiener dog today, guys. The ropeway ride was okay. You're just going over a forest, so it's not super explosive looking or anything. But once you get to the top, the view down is good, but the view up further is astonishing. The way that the clouds are wrapped around the tips of the mountains. I can't imagine what this would look like in the winter. I really want to come back because I think this is operating then, and to get to see all of this, if you had a clear day with snow cover, would be like looking at a different planet. It'd be like you're on Hoth or something. Check out this sign. I guess they clear it off every day in the winter because it shows the snowfall for the last 24 hours, and it goes to 100 centimeters. Kind of feels weird to ride a chairlift without skis on. Like, I mean, you do it every once in a while, but it's kind of like, this is a skiing thing. And it's so close to the ground, my feet are hitting these flowers that are below us. This, of course, leads one to wonder, if they get 100 centimeters of snow in 24 hours, and my feet are almost touching the ground on this lift, how does this work in the winter? maybe it just doesn't. Maybe you can only go to the other one. Because like 100 centimeters, like I'm basically closer to the ground with my butt than that at the moment. And if it's only 1 day's fall, what if you have 2 days? I'm pretty certain the lady in front of me is cutting her fingernails, which is just a bit of an odd activity on a chairlift. I guess you got nothing else to do. You make efficient use of your time. At the top of the chairlift, there is a little forest path. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a massive climb, but more of a stroll through the woods. It only takes about 20 minutes. I think I'll do that because, I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty hungry. Don't have any food, and I didn't even bring my calorie mate. So I did contemplate, you can kind of go up to another station, but it's 1.5 kilometers and it looks like a climb. So I think I'm gonna take a pass on that. I don't know how much better the view is gonna get, you know what I mean? And I don't think that's even taking you to the top. I'm not completely certain. So it wouldn't even give me that rewarding feeling of having climbed a mountain kind of after I rode a ropeway and a chairlift. This forest walk is turning into an upwards thing. Whew. But the good news is it looks like I'll be able to see a waterfall from the top. I really have to resist the urge to set the camera up and do these walking things like that where I walk past the camera, because even though what it's doing is helping everybody understand the environment that I'm in and like what I'm walking through, which I usually do with Katie, and I can just show her walking through it and it just like gives a human perspective. I find that those shots are really kind of lame because it takes away the realism of the experience, because you know I had to do the thing and then set the camera up and then do it again. So it just makes it feel maybe a little bit more overproduced than what I like. But sometimes it's just like you see all these woods and there's no human perspective to understand what things are. Does that make sense? No banana for scale. So Katie's usually the banana, but I don't know, maybe I should be the banana more often. What do you guys think? Are those shots lame? All right, it's still climbing, but I asked the lady that was passing. She was real friendly looking. It's like, how was the view from the top? She said it's real good, that I should keep trying. I said, all right, gambarimasu. The view is okay. The waterfall view is a little distant, let's put it that way. I wouldn't say that it's worth walking up here specifically just to see the waterfall. But again, when you can look up and you can see the top of the mountain from a different vantage point and watch how the clouds are dancing around it and stuff, that to me is the part that looks awesome. Maybe it's a taste thing. The waterfall apparently is named after a mythological dragon that brings good luck in rain. I don't know if it like looks like it or if the dragon lives there or whatever. It's like some historical old story. And that's kind of cool. And the only way I would have got to learn that is by seeing it on the sign up here. So I guess in a way it was worth it for the waterfall just to hear the lore about it, and then the top of the mountains is a bonus. The bummer, I might have mentioned this in a previous video on this trip, I've been running into some people from China, tourists from China, and again, like it's like a group of 5 or 6 people, and I came up and they all were like pointing and laughing at me, and then like when they think I wasn't looking, they would take pictures of me. It's just like, we're living in a society here, folks. Why are we acting like this? But it's just reminiscent of the time that we spent in China. It just makes me kind of feel not good, you know what I mean? Like, it makes me feel like I'm angry at an entire group of people from a country, and it's just a shitty feeling. And the reality is, it's totally not everybody from China, because I've met a lot of people who live in Japan that are from China, and they're great people, and they've been totally awesome. But there's something about like a certain subsect of people, man, they think they're seeing like a mythological creature, and maybe I am, I don't know. But I just wish that they'd be friendlier about it, you know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, can we take a picture with you or something? Like almost every other country's people who don't see mythological creatures often do, but they're just sneaky about it and like laughing and like pointing, and it's just a shitty feeling. I feel like a zoo animal or something. But anyway, rant over. Oh, by the way, just to head off anybody who thinks I'm being presumptuous about the nationality of the folks, of course, I don't know what their nationality is, but culturally, I know at least enough Chinese. There's one specific word that's very distinct that you can pick out. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I think it's something from northern China. But anyway, I keep hearing that word. And then there's also the fact that I've been in almost every country in Asia, and there's only one country where people behave like that. So that's how I'm doing my math. I was kind of hoping on this little forest walk I'd come across some critters or some flowers or something. But it's mostly just greenery, which is fine. But there hasn't been anything that had been like pulling my focus. Saw one little flower that was like, oh, that's kind of pretty. Everything else is just kind of green. It does feel very pleasant up here though. The air is really clean feeling. And I'm up a little bit higher than I have been, obviously. So the humidity level is lower and the temperature is a bit lower. So it just feels good to be kind of up in this, not refrigerated area. It's not that cold, but chilled zone. The cool zone. I have these little clips in my bag because the side pockets are all floppy. I don't understand. It's a problem. I don't know what the deal is. When I got on the chairlift, one of them fell off, and the guys went into kind of like, oh my god, chaos mode. Like, it's okay. Because I'm like going away, you know what I mean? It fell like on this little platform they have. So I'm gonna have to find another one of those clips because I need one for each side. Oh well. I have some somewhat fantastic news about critters, by the way. I found that little guy. The Naki Usagi. Check him out. He's got bling too that says the exact location where he's from. And also, he's got a voice to be heard. When I was in the visitor center earlier, the one with all the animals, they had this display with this little guy. And they also had a button you could press to make it make the sound that the little guy makes. I'm 87% certain I just heard a couple of them chatting with each other in the forest. I didn't see a real one, but I got a fake one, and I think I heard a real one. So this is working out. That's a different sound. Maybe. Yeah, that sounds more like a bird. These things make this like choo noise. I think it was a conversation happening. The best part about this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to mail it to Katie, and she is just going to open a package, and it's going to have this guy. I seriously think I'm hearing those little critters. And the bushes are like moving around. It's super adorable. Okay, so they're really hard to see, but every once in a while I catch like a glimpse of a squirrelish looking thing, you know what I mean? Like a little ball of fur moving around. It's definitely not a bird. So whatever it is, I think it's that thing, Naki Usagi. I think that's what I'm like almost positive that's what it is. I think they're called pika in English, which is perfect because of the noise. I don't know what the Naki part means, but Usagi means bunny. They don't have bunnies, that's for sure. Well, they don't look like bunnies to me. Ain't no bunnies I ever seen at Easter. I'm starting to question my sanity. Maybe they are birds. I can't get it. I mean, what's that one thing that really looked like a mammal? But then I've now seen a whole bunch more things that are birds. I don't know. I think I need to go back and check the sound that's being made at that thing and see if they sound anything like that. I don't know. And now I can't remember if the sound that I heard over there was the same sound I'm hearing here. I'm not good at animalization. How do you say analyze an animal? Animalization. That's a word. The cable car had a bunch of facts that it announced while you came down the hill. And the most interesting one that I found is that there's a ski resort up here, and it is opened and available for skiing from November until June. Which is like a really long ski season. And it also bragged about how good the quality of the snow is. I gotta come back up here in the winter. All right, I'm back at the visitor center. Let's get down to business here. This is our little bro here. And we got a button. We can press this button and it's gonna make the noise. Everybody listen. So now I'm gonna have to go back and listen to what I heard in the forest and see if that sounds like it at all. I think maybe not. Maybe the first thing when I was in the lift I heard. The second thing's maybe it's just birds and I'm stupid. It's the most likely situation, I think. What's up? This little onsen town is no joke. It's in a valley with some pretty dramatic looking mountains just right around the edges of it. Sometimes I don't have anything else to say, but I want to explain the thing. You saw my brain just stop. That's what happens. Look at this place though, it's rad. There's like one restaurant in this town that's open and I'm pretty excited about what I got. I got a butadon, just like a pork bowl. They put a bunch of sweet sauce on it. I can already smell it. And then it's of course on top of rice. A bunch of people in the Google reviews were like, this was amazing. So that's why I went with it. Meat's a bit chewy, but the sauce is amazing. I didn't exactly do a hike, but this is a good like post-hike meal. Thankfully it's not ridiculously expensive. It's only 1,000 yen, which for the size of this is about right. So I'm not getting charged like a unique location fee, which you can kind of expect to happen sometimes. Ooh, that's flavorful as well. Good soup. Yeah, this is good. This little birdhouse is full of sand so that in the winter you can put it down on the road and keep things from being too slippery. All right, Naki Usagi-san is on an adventure of his own. I packed him up and sent him on his way to Kyde. So she'll get him in a few days. Hopefully she reads his tag because it says to squeak him. We're gonna slide out of this little onsen town here and I think only go a couple of minutes. And I think what we're gonna find is a waterfall. This is the kind of area where that's kind of what you find. I need to go right here and there's a bunch of construction happening. I don't know how to go right. Follow that guy. He's just doing it. Yeah, look at this gorge that we're in. This is amazing. Very cool scenery. More than a waterfall, it's a waterfall that feeds into a river that is also beautiful. And the connection point between the waterfall and the river almost looks like somebody designed it and put it there. It's so pretty and perfect looking. Like something you can see at Disneyland, some Imagineers, like you place each stick in exactly the right place to elicit the right emotion and then get you to buy popcorn. It's exactly perfect. Is buying popcorn at Disneyland a thing that's only in Japan? Or do you guys do that in America as well? Like all the flavored popcorn? I say things sometimes, I'm like, does that even resonate with anyone else? I don't know if you can notice, but lately I've been questioning myself a lot when I speak. Do you think it's like a symptom of kind of being alone for a while? Like, and not speaking to anybody really? Like, it hasn't been like a long time, but you know, a little bit of time goes by and you start to get weird in the head. The water, by the way, is what one would define as frigid. I'm telling you, these bears are in the bell business. Look at this. Got photographic proof. There's construction here in the tunnel, and they got a sign up that says that the wait is 7 minutes, which is pretty nice that they actually write it, but 7 minutes is a long time to wait. That tunnel that said it would be a 7-minute wait to go through, well, I'm going through it now, and I've been driving for a really long time, and I'm still inside the tunnel. It's kind of amazing how long it is. Because this is, while a somewhat busy road, it's not like it's an incredibly busy road, but they've thrown a huge tunnel into this road, and it had to have cost a ridiculous amount of money to dig this. I'm going to do my best to explain a linguistical quirk, to put it nicely, about Japanese. Okay, so this area in this big park is called Daisetsuzan. Daisetsuzan. Okay? Dai. The D is important. Daisetsuzan Kokuritsu Koen is the name of the national park. Inside of the national park, there is a dam. And this dam, according to this sign, is called Taisetsu Damu. Taisetsu. The thing that's frustrating about this is that they both use the same characters. Like it's written the same. The pronunciation has just changed. And a lot of times that'll happen because of a sound that comes before, or possibly even a sound that comes after, a little rarely, or more rare. But in this case, the sound before doesn't exist, the ta or da, and then the sound after is the same. How is anybody supposed to know how to read anything out loud? It's just insane. I've been here for over a decade and I still find things like this. I'm like, Taisetsu, I just pulled up like Taisetsu, oh, Japan. And then the name of the national park, Daisetsu. It's exhausting. This cow is trying to learn Japanese. You see his face? I rip on him about the language thing, but to be completely honest, it's kind of interesting. Every time I see little quirks like that, I'm like, wow, that's weird. I'm not actually like, roar. But it's kind of fun to just be like, it is still kind of insane. Okay, like I get both sides exist. You just, after a while, have to accept like this is just the way the world is. And just, okay, we're just gonna randomize the pronunciation of everything, whatever. I spent the last bit of time just kind of driving through the national park, and it's absolutely beautiful here. Super nice roads and really easy to ride on. But I expected there to be like a pull off here and a pull off there and a scenic view there and a scenic view here, but we're mostly in the middle of a gorge. So the scenic views are all upwards, so you can kind of see them from everywhere. I don't know how much farther I'm going to go. I don't really have an end point here. I was just kind of hoping to drift and find things to have a peek at. But the thing to do seems to just be to drive, which isn't too bad. But I also kind of feel like maybe I could just do this tomorrow on my way out of the park. So I don't know, it's possible I'll just turn in a little bit early today. It's not even 4 o'clock. And just head back, and well, by the time I get back, it's not going to be early anymore. I think I've driven like an hour. As soon as I started talking about how there hadn't been any place interesting to stop, I popped out of that tunnel I went into. Suddenly it's a place to stop. It's a cool looking overlook. And there's a little shop here, and it's a little cafe. It's really cute. And I got a espresso soft cream, and it was pretty good. It was a really strong espresso flavor. Yeah, that's good. Damn, deep ass coffee flavor. But now, you see these clouds behind me? I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. There's no data here for me to check what the weather is going to be. So what I'm going to do is head back where the skies are blue. This is the laundry area and like where you brush your teeth and stuff here at this camping resort. And somebody has just got their digital devices here plugged in and charging, and they are nowhere to be seen. And they've been there for at least an hour and a half. Nobody takes anything. It's amazing. I love Japan. What's funny about this is while I was making the video about somebody else's gear just sitting there, my gear was just all sitting here, my laptop, everything, camera and stuff was in this bag. This is a completely different building. I just left it here to go check my laundry. I didn't even think about it till I came back. A guy just came in this room and this thing was on him. Freaking nightmare fuel, dude. Look at that thing. No way, dude. Yo, that spider is a bummer. I'm just editing this video right now. I'm looking at it. It's like, why does that exist? It looks like a giant mushroom with legs. It's bad news. I hope you're enjoying the video series on exploring Hokkaido on two wheels with Scooty. If you would like to help us keep making videos like this in the future, then Patreon is absolutely the best way to do that. There are different perks for people who help us out over there. We get postcards and early releases and discussion videos and stuff like that. And without the help over there, we can't keep making videos. We don't have a big enough YouTube channel for it to be like sustained on ad revenue. So everybody that's helping us out over there is keeping the whole project alive, and we super appreciate the help we get. And if anybody else is interested in keeping the ball rolling, Patreon is the place to go. Other places, we've got all the social media stuff, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the Twitters, all that. Is Twitter a thing? It's an Xers or something now. I don't even know how to talk about it. But the place that we're trying to drive people the most is over onto Twitch. And if you're not familiar with it, Twitch is a live streaming platform. So we're basically doing kind of what our videos are, but only in real time. And you guys get to talk to us through chat, and we get to just talk back, and it turns into a big conversation. And it's a really fun place to just kind of be part of a community and go out and explore. And I do some photography, we do some motorbiking. Sometimes Katie's there, sometimes you just get me, sometimes we're just hanging out at home. It's just a cool place to have a community. So if you're into that kind of thing, check out Twitch. The links are down below as well. And yeah, I think that about covers it. So there'll be more coming from Hokkaido pretty soon. So keep an eye out, and there'll be more from Hokkaido, and then also more from other places, because we're going to do other stuff too. Beans.